you in the zone? I mean, really in the zone? Or are you zoned out? I guess you could say, well, it depends on what zone. I want to introduce you to 3 different zones, and I want you to really ask yourself, which one are you spending time in? Or are you spending time in any of them? The first one is the comfort zone. Now, of course, the comfort zone is where we spend most of our time. It's the way we drive to work, or the way we get the bus to work, or how we get to work. It's the normal people we hang around with, our normal friends. It's the day-to-day stuff we do day in, day out. And it's important. It's very, very important. You need to come back to your comfort zone in times of stress or when you're worried. So it's a great zone. And there's a problem with it. Because guess what? There's not a lot of learning is going to take place in the comfort zone. So we have to take ourselves out of that comfort zone into another zone, and I'm wondering how much time you spend in this zone, and that's the learning zone. As a leader, if you want to build a learning organisation, how can you in all integrity build a learning organisation if you're not learning yourself, if you're not pushing the envelope, if you're not actually getting better at what you do, if you're not actually increasing your interpersonal skills and your technical skills, whether you're an engineer or in finance or HR, continually learning, seeking out people who'll help you learn, mentors, experiences, all sorts of things. But there's another zone. And in the words of Lou Reed, it's a zone we often don't go to. But I want to take you there now. And Lou Reed used to go do, 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 do. And that final zone is this one up here. And it's called the wild zone. Maybe we should, the wild zone. And this is where you go a little bit crazy. This is where you hang out with all sorts of different people. I mean, are you hanging around with the same people, or are they different? If you're older, you hang around with young people. If you're younger, you hang around with older people. I mean, are you going to the same places? I once had a client, he just kept on going to Fiji with his family every year. I mean, where's the growth there? He finally asked his family, do you want to go back? And they said, Dad, how many times can we say bula bula, which is a Fijian word? They were going to the same places rather than going to the wild zone. This is where you do crazy stuff. Now, I'm not saying you should do this, but one person I knew went to a course and actually went outside and dragged a banana up a street. Now, this is one hell of a weird thing to do, to drag a banana along a street. Walkies, walkies. And I'm not suggesting you do that, but the principle was this. Because often what happens in the wild zone, we get embarrassed. In the wild zone, we fear failure. And that's the very thing that takes us out and helps us learn. So I'm encouraging you to actually take a trip on the wild side, to get into that wild zone. When's the last time you did something for the first time? Let me tell you, there's no learning in the comfort zone, and there's no comfort in the learning zone. And if you want to go beyond where you are now to the next level as a leader, take your business, take your family, take your community to the next level, then start to have a bit of a trip on the wild zone. Who would that be for you? What would it be? Isn't it about time you actually stepped into the wild zone and yet acknowledged the learning zone and had something comfortable to come home with to make you feel secure? I'm Paul Mitchell from the Human Enterprise. Be true to you.